Hello everyone, welcome to the Spooky Noodles Podcast. Today we'll be covering the story of SCP-55, also ironically known as Unknown. Thank you to the authors Qntm and Captain Bellman. I love the gimmick of this SCP. It makes the imagination run wild, which is nice because personal interaction with the story always makes it better. But anyways, what exactly is the Unknown? Item number SCP-55. Object class Keter. Special containment procedures. Object is kept within a 5x5 by 2.5 meter square room constructed of cement 50 centimeters in thickness with a Faraday cage surrounding the cement walls. Access is via a heavy containment door measuring 2 by 2.5 meters, constructed on bearings to ensure door closes and locks automatically unless held open deliberately. Security guards are not to be posted outside SCP-55's room. It is further advised that all personnel maintaining or studying other SCP objects in the vicinity try to maintain a distance of at least 50 meters from the geometric center of the room, as long as this is reasonably practical. Description: SCP-55 is a self-keeping secret, or anti-meme. Information about SCP-55's physical appearance as well as its nature, behavior, and origins is self-classifying. To clarify, how Site-19 originally acquired SCP-55 is unknown. When it was obtained, and by whom, is also unknown. 55's physical appearance is unknown. It is not indescribable or invisible. Individuals are perfectly capable of entering 55's container and observing it, taking mental or written notes, making sketches, taking photographs, and even making audio/video recordings. An extensive log of such observations is on file. However, information about SCP-55's physical appearance leaks out of a human mind soon after such an observation. Individuals tasked with describing SCP-55 afterwards find their minds wandering and lose interest in the task. Individuals tasked with sketching a copy of a photograph of 55 are unable to remember what the photograph looks like, as are researchers overseeing these tests. Security personnel who have observed SCP-55 via closed-circuit television cameras emerge after a full shift exhausted and effectively amnesiac about the events of the previous hours. Who authorized the construction of 55's containment room, why it was constructed in this way, or what the purpose of the described containment procedures may be, are all unknown. Despite 55's container being easily accessible, all personnel at Site-19 claim no knowledge of 55's existence when challenged. All of these facts are periodically rediscovered, usually by chance readers of this file, causing a great deal of alarm. The state of concern lasts minutes at most before the matter is simply forgotten about. A great deal of scientific data has been recorded from 55, but it cannot be studied. At least one attempt has been made to destroy 55, or possibly move it from containment at Site-19 to another site, meeting failures for reasons unknown. SCP-55 may present a major physical threat and indeed may have killed many hundreds of personnel we would not know. Certainly, it presents a gigantic memetic/mental threat, hence its Keter classification. Document 55-1, an analysis of SCP-55. The author puts forward the hypothesis that 55 was never formally acquired by and is in fact an autonomous or remotely controlled agent inserted at Site-19 by an unidentified third party for one or all of the following purposes: to silently observe or interfere with activities at Site-19, activities at other SCP locations, activities of humanity worldwide, other SCP objects, or no action to counter any of the potential threats is suggested or indeed theoretically possible. Addendum A. Hey, if this thing really is an anti-meme, why doesn't the fact that it's an anti-meme get wiped? We must be wrong about that somehow. Wait a minute. What if we were to keep notes about what it isn't? Would we remember those? Bartholomew Hughes, NSA. Document 55-2, Report of Dr. John Marichek. Survey Team 1955-127-BXE was successfully able to enter 55's container and ascertain the appearance and to some degree the nature of the object. Notes were taken according to the project methodology. See. After which the container was sealed again. Excerpt from a transcript of personnel debriefing follows. Dr. Hughes. Okay, I'm going to need to ask you some questions about number 55 now. Number what? SCP Object 55, the object you just examined. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't think we have a 55. Okay then. I'd like you to tell me what you've been doing for the past 2 hours. What, I don't know. Okay then, do you remember that we all agreed that it wasn't spherical? That wasn't. Right, it isn't round at all. Object 55 isn't round. So you remember it now? Well, no. I don't know what it is, but I know there's one. It's something you can't remember, and it's not a sphere. Wait a minute. What's not a sphere? Object 55? Object what? Doc, do you remember agreeing that something wasn't shaped like a sphere? Oh, right. It appears to be possible to remember what 55 is not and to repeatedly deduce its existence from these memories. Personnel involved in Survey 1955-127-BXE reported moderate levels of disorientation and psychological trauma associated with cycles of repeated memory and forgetfulness of 55. However, no long-term behavioral or health problems were observed, and psych assessments of survey personnel showed consistent reports of distress fading over time. Recommendations. It may be worthwhile to post at least one staff member capable of remembering the existence of 55 to each critical site. If you asked me to point you towards one of the scariest SCPs, I might honestly tell you about 55. I know this sounds like a weird pick, but let me explain. The thought of disorders like dementia and Alzheimer's has always terrified me, and this entity just feels like those personified. Its ability to erase memory is absolutely horrifying. What's stopping it from erasing more than just memories of itself? If you enjoyed this analysis, please consider sticking around for more. Next Sunday, we will be covering the legend of an infamous spirit that is known to haunt bodies of water. Our sources are linked in the show notes. If you've got any suggestions or tips for future episodes, please contact us at our email spookynoodlespod@gmail.com or at our Twitter @spookynoodles. Your feedback is greatly appreciated. Make sure to keep your taste for horror alive by watching the next episode of Spooky Noodles on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, or YouTube. Thank you for listening.